Okay, the grooming gangs. Didn't give Alex much time there, did we?
The grooming gangs, Hayden.
And there we go. Yes. Um, yeah, the petition that was signed means there's a good chance the government's decision not to release the report into the grooming gangs, lest we find out what everybody already knows, might well have to be debated in Parliament, where they will still decide we're not going to see it because
No,
they don't want us to know what we already know.
I signed it, but like most things like this, I didn't sign it because I thought there's much chance of it making a difference. See, the problem is sometimes, and I'm not accusing you of this, but sometimes people get lost in the trap of like, well, it will be debated in Parliament, and then in their mind they're thinking of Prime Minister's questions.
Yeah, not three people at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah, and it literally, that's when they do it. They do it in the middle of the night when no one's in there, and they just bring it up. And maybe we'll get lucky, and a few MPs will jump on it. I don't know. I doubt it though. I doubt it. The thing is, if all it takes is one MP with some actual balls, because that one MP, as part of discussing it, can bring up any part of it and get away with it. Like they don't just have freedom of speech there. They explicitly protected.
yes.
To say things that would get you or I in trouble with the law. And so all it takes is one MP. And I know there's some Labours, some Conservatives, there's ones from all sides that want to do it. Just someone that's read it, someone that's looked at it, just stand up and tell us the important bits. So they just end up having to release it anyway.
We all know what they don't want to put out there, don't we? It's pure and
knows.
simple. Everyone knows what it is, but that rubber stamp, they think for some reason will set the whole country off. Because we're a racist, terrible country. Meghan Markle said it was all to do with racism, didn't she? Forgetting that thousands of British people lined the roads when those pair of fucking leeches got married, to wish them well and cheer for them. But we know that grooming gangs are predominantly made up of Pakistani men.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing Asian. Asian's so ridiculous. It ain't a load of Japanese blokes calling white girls.
To be fair, that's we've always referred to Indians, Pakistanis, and that as Asians because they're from the Asian subcontinent sort of thing. We've always done that. Well, English people, not fucking wannabe Americans like you. Obviously, Mister, I wear a pin.
No,
bellend.
No. There's, if anything, I'd say Indo-Asian. You alright, so?
Oh yeah, you really say that the Indo-Asian community.
Indo-Asian, yeah.
Indo-Asian, yeah. I've never heard you say that in the 4 fucking years I've known you. You lying sack of shit.
Oh, Hayden Hewitt doesn't listen to me. What a fucking shock!
Yeah, the problem is,
you know, as a 30-second one.
I hear every fucking word.
There we go.
Because I will always bring it back up to throw in your face a year later. You know it.
Yep.
I just look like we spoke about this the other day, didn't we, on the shows? It's terrible. We watched one back, and it's like, because you're doing a few things at once, you're listening, but you're looking at something and you're trying, and it just looks at sometimes when he talks, I just go, yeah, great, whatever.
Yeah, no, I've got notes on my phone, and then there is my notes that I've got on my second monitor, and then obviously Soph just harassing me for tobacco because apparently. It's just too much to ask that she sorts it before we get going.
It was Soph that told us you sit down to piss.
Stop putting that rumour around, man. That's ridiculous.
It's not a rumour, dude. She confirmed it. It's a fact.
I did do the other day, actually, but only because I went at the same time as my daughter. She sat on a little potty, and the potty's like right next to the loo. I just didn't want to stand with it like at her face. Just we don't mind if there's any splash there. You'll be all right. I just sat down next to it. Yeah, and you know what? It was quite a cute, nice little moment. Me and her just like, because we were both facing forward the same way because the potty's like next to the loo. Like that.
I love the way you're making out like it was a special occasion you sat down.
It was nice.
It was a special occasion that you did it alongside your little one, but normally you're on your own in there, aren't you? Sitting down to piss. Sitting down to piss.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, Graham. I genuinely don't know.
If I'm texting and I've got a particularly important thing that I need to get through quickly, yeah, I'll sit down. Well, not as a standard. Life's too short for all that nonsense. Not during the day when no one's here and I get to pretend I'm the king. No, that seat goes right up.
Hands behind your head, pissing all over it. Yeah,
Yeah, I just make out like it's always like that. And then it's down with the little.
because that's when you lose control, isn't it?
on.
When you're up and you cough or something like that, off it goes.
I'm the worst for flushing before I finish, man. I've got this weird thing in my head. I just like to wee as it's going round, and I'm like part of something exciting. I don't know why.
Hang
Just
on,
always
Happy
like
Dog
that.
saying no, we haven't, Hayden. Sorry, the
What?
Asian tag is a recent thing. Came in with the cock-ups of the Labour Party balls up of immigration. It was to confuse the issue when there were 2 million documented. No, we used to call them Oriental. And during the times of the Raj, we referred to them as Asian. Partly what you say was to reference, because we didn't want to say they were from Pakistan, which was one of our historical interferences that went fucking sideways, where we cut a country in fucking half, went, that'll be peaceful. Instead created two bitter enemies that are now nuclear enemies. But yeah, just refer to them as Asians. They're from fucking Asia. They're Asians, like Europeans are from Europe. But there are vast differences across the continent of Europe. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
bollocks. The grooming
if a load
gangs
of-
are predominantly
if a load-
Pakistani.
If like a French gang had raped 200 girls, specifically because they were English, we wouldn't be saying European rape gangs, would we? We would be saying a French rape gang. We'd be saying, "Oh, look at all those French."
No, but
people.
we do say Europeans. Now, me personally, I think we should be able to say that the grooming gangs are predominantly Pakistani males, because they are. But then I have it thrown at me, that's racist. There are more white people that commit child abuse, and of course there are. There are more white people. Simple fact, per capita, of course. There's far more white people. There's, what is it, 2.6 million?
Yeah, but it's not the issue though. It's like bringing up, if you're having a conversation about shootings and then you say, well, what about knife crime? It's like, yeah, but we're talking about shooting.
But that's what everyone does with these arguments. And there's nothing racist whatsoever about pointing out that most of these grooming gangs do appear to be Pakistani guys. What, how is it racist? A fact can't be racist. It's just a fact. A fact has no emotion. A fact has no opinion. It's a fact. Yeah, you've seen it yourself. I mentioned that on Twitter. I have loads of white people crawling all the way up my arse about it. Because someone, right, why are you focusing on that? Because that's what I'm talking about right now. In 10 minutes, I could be talking about Boris Johnson,
Is the thing, isn't it? Trevor Phillips has been suspended from Labour, and that is one of the things that's been talked about around it is him discussing Muslim rape gangs, and it's like, oh, is that Islamophobic now? Is it? Because then, actual Muslims must be also Islamophobic, because a lot of them are quite concerned about it.
I imagine they are, yes.
The man who, I was chatting to someone about it today, actually. It was quite interesting about how he is quite controversial and he does stir the pot and stuff. And for me, I was like, him going is almost like the death of the Labour Party for me. Because it's like all activism, all things that are worth happening, especially at a governmental level, you need space to stir the pot and be controversial. You need it. Like there are no human rights. There is no diversity or fucking gay rights or any of that shit without the ability to be offensive and be exactly what Trevor Phillips is. That's you need that. The women wouldn't have the vote. Gays wouldn't have the right to just actually be around each other without being harassed by the police. All this shit, man. In terms of some of it I liked, some of it I don't like, but all this sort of dignity legislation comes from being very, very offensive. It comes from people like him. And Labour are being absolute fucking idiots right now.
Oh, but you know how it is, dude. It's like on Twitter, if a black person doesn't follow the narrative, they're not black enough. If a gay a gay man or a lesbian doesn't follow the narrative, they're oppressive people. Everything. I mean, if you're white, you're just fucking wrong. But the thing is, most of this doesn't seem to come from black people or gay people or anything like that. It seems to come predominantly from the woke.
Yeah, who tend to be white.
Yeah, very white. Often men with full beards, vehemently arguing in favour of men going into ladies' weightlifting competitions.
It's funny though because I saw a woke black guy saying how Trevor Phillips was as formerly of the black community because he's no longer black. Um, but the irony of that is that this I can't even remember who it was now, some journalist, but that journalist ideologically has aligned himself with majority of white people. You know, like that. Sorry, not majority of white people. The people he's aligned himself with are mostly white. So he's there with all these white woke buddies going, "You're not black anymore," calling him an Uncle Tom and a coconut, and it's like, yeah, but look around you, mate, because all your mates are white and you're spouting white talking points right now. It's a bit awkward.
I just love that idea. Right, you're not black anymore. What?
Yeah. Oh, they do it all the time.
Yeah, but that's not a club you can be thrown out of, is it?
I know, yeah. Well, it is for them, isn't it? Because, the skin colour, sexuality, none of them are innate things in you now. They are political statements. Even racism is a political statement. That's why they think white people can't be racist. It can't be the victims of racism. Because racism isn't something that you as an individual do anymore. It's a magical fairy that's all around you. It's a systemic thing. It's like, yes, but you're white and you benefit from whiteness. Therefore, you're just homogenized into the sea of like privilege.
Well, that's it. That's how I've had it explained to me that everything good that's ever happened to me because of my white privilege. Because I'm white, everything that's good that's happened to me has happened. Not much explanation for all the shit things. Apparently, that's not my white privilege. So all the shit I've worked really hard for, and managed to do, and all the shit I've failed at, it's my privilege.
See, that's the thing, though, Aidan. That's the thing. You can talk shit and get away with it because you're white. Trevor Phillips talks shit. No.
But also, I can get away with it because I'm fucking nobody.
No.
I'm not in the Labour Party.
Labour are expelling him to show him just how bad things are for black people in this country.
Oh, they're giving him a lesson.
They are for rocking the boat.
Teaching that black lad a lesson, are they? That sounds familiar, doesn't it? That sounds very remarkably British from about 200 years ago. Yeah.
We've seen we've seen a few things about the trans athlete things here. Did you see that Lisa Nandy interview?
No.
On Good Morning Britain with Piers. Oh, it's worth a watch, man. It's really, really worth a watch. Because it's obviously, Lisa Nandy, she's probably not going to win it, but she is contender for leader of the Labour Party at the moment.
Yes.
And she's drifting into that thing. You can see during the interview, because all Piers is doing is saying, is it okay for trans athletes to compete against women? Is that fine by you? And she refuses to answer. And the example he gave was, I've got it here somewhere. What's that guy? Usain Bolt. That was it. He said, if Usain Bolt took hormones for a year, do you think it's fair that Usain Bolt runs against women? And she's like, that's a straw man. That's a straw man because it would never happen. And it's like, well, yeah, but what we're saying is, are you allowing the rules so that it can happen? Because if you allow it to happen, it will happen. It might not specifically be Usain, but you can tell she can think about this. You can tell she's got an opinion. She's from Wigan. She ain't like some fucking, miles away London Labour or whatever. She does know. She's grown up around reality. But she's so scared of the Twitter mob. She won't dare say it. She won't dare speak her mind.
And politicians really need to get past that because those fuckers don't go out and vote anyway.
Oh, of course they don't.
If their vote was important, Labour would have won.
But they've got 5,000 followers on Twitter, and they've got a rainbow in the bio and their pronouns and all that. So they're powerful people as far as they're concerned.
Oh, very powerful. Cancel. I'm going to cancel you. Yeah. You should not be heard. I mean, I saw it was a British woman teacher, very woke in her 50s. She looks, and Donovan, Crip Daddy. She was telling him off for using cripple in his name. She's like, I can tell that you just want to own it, but it doesn't work that way. And he's like, lady, I'm going to call myself whatever the fuck I like. You know?
Jesus Christ.
The guy's a fucking cripple. If he wants to call himself a cripple, good luck to him. But
The
no,
boy
she's telling
literally.
him.
I know. It's so funny, isn't it?
What is it he calls it? Leg-splaining.
Explaining, yeah. Genius. I love Donovan. I
Must get
absolutely
him
love
back
him.
on the show before he's too famous.
Yeah, or before he just dies, man. The dude nearly dies every other week, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not in the best. I mean, the coronavirus will fuck him up if it gets hold of him. So let's hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we do genuinely, he's fucking great to talk to.
He is. He's a good lad. And he's great on Twitter. He's such a cock, but he's amazing.
Terrible bell end. It's fantastic.
He's always such a fucking bastard to me. Because he's got loads of like mates that love him. And they've got no context for it whatsoever. They just see him slagging me off like fuck, calling me a Nazi and shit. But not just, he's never as lazy as just calling me a Nazi. He's always funny about it. And all day I'm just getting likes on his tweet just ringing up because he's added me. I'm getting notifications as well. And I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Well, what I like doing is I'll leave a horrible comment to him, you know, being all woke. And then his followers just pile on me. Oh, the blue check's fucking here now, is it? And all this shit. And we're just in DMs enjoying it greatly.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know that because I know that people are going to defend him and all the rest of it. So I'll be a bit of a cock with him as well. Fuck you, Donovan. I love it. I don't go as woke as you, but then again, you've got
blue tick. Blue tick just does
so
everything for you. It makes you the worst thing since Hitler. It's fantastic.
Well, it's not far off. I mean, we all just kind of get on with it now, but there is a really weird thing there where they'll blue tick people randomly. They said they suspended it, but they hadn't.
No, it's gone kind of queerly, like, you know, really quite far left now.
Yeah, it was weird. Like Douglas Murray, editor of, what is it? He's the editor of? Is it Spectator or something? I can't remember.
Who's
but
the guy I know? Just go on.
But either way, like 100,000 followers, best-selling author, no blue tick, and then some guy from Palo Alto with 1,000 followers that writes for fucking some awful like Democrat blog thing. And it's
I might have one for you actually if I can find him. I don't remember his fucking name. That's terrible. I don't remember his name. I feel bad now.
It's ridiculous though, man. It's like just creating a class thing.
I'm sure he writes for Vice or something like that anyway.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it's Vice, something like that, and he's been blue ticked. He's been blue ticked for sure.
Under the thing that they've apparently supposed to have suspended. Why don't they just open it up? That's the thing as well. Right now, politicians in this country are trying to get anonymous accounts banned from Twitter, which is just fucking hilarious considering the Orwellian bullshit they've been doing in terms of arresting
and
people.
Considering they won't validate you anyway at the moment. I keep trying to explain this to people. I'm not in any kind of club. I get banned and suspended too.
But it's
just all it means is that's who I am.
Yeah, but just open that up. Allow people to
let everyone
their idea, whatever.
I mean, for me, Graham, give one to fucking everybody.
Like, if it's just you are who you say you are, then why the fuck would you not open that up to everyone? It would solve a lot of problems as well. It'd make it a lot easier for the police to find you. I don't give a fuck, man.
It's because Twitter know that some people see it as something of value.
Yeah, because they've created it that way, though, haven't they?
Of course
they've done that intentionally, and that's kind of what I was thinking at the start. They've created this class thing, like, because the people do have their blue ticks removed for being controversial. You know, it's become and that's because of pressure groups going, they shouldn't have it. Why are you validating their opinion like this? Yeah. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Donald Trump's got a fucking blue tick, and I'm sure there's not a lot of people at Twitter that like the way he talks. Brings us back to Lisa Nandy, actually.
You applied for a blue tick, though, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, ages ago, when it was still open. I didn't get one.
No.
I didn't get one.
I remember.
They were like, no.
What I remember more was you going, I'm just not going to mention it to Hayden. I'm just not going to mention it to Hayden. As soon as you walked in the building, Hayden, they didn't give me a blue tick.
They didn't give me a blue tick. They fucked me off. I mean, yeah, I'd forgotten about that, actually.